Just like that, game day on the Real Kyper and Bourne Show, Season 5. Jake the Snake Schultz, Derek Brandeo, Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee, and Ethan Jaja Gabor with you for the next 2 hours on our Mitch Marner Hour edition of our program. Now, what are we, January, middle of January?
Yeah, the 15th.
I don't know if we've mentioned Mitch Marner's name half a dozen times this year.
Yeah, not a ton. Well, I mean,
But
a lot of the analysis in the early going was how are they different without him?
We can't do that today because
do you want to?
Everybody, I did your buddy J.D. Bunkus's show, and it's all
Today?
Yeah, I did.
Oh wow,
it's all Marner, right? Is it officially the revenge game, or people are trying to build it up as that, or, you know?
And you're trying to tear it down.
I'm not doing anything.
I got the tone early here.
This is the Leaf Hour edition. As far as I'm concerned, people have Leaf shows, but none better than ours.
No.
I want to give it justice. I want to give it what it's due and what Leaf fans want. And is today the day where we go revisit everything on Mitch Marner, or is this a day where we go, nah, not really? Sammy,
whatever.
What do your fans want? What's Leaf Nation want today out of us and Mitch Marner?
The top line above you there says "Real Kyper." So if you if you don't think you think it's important,
buddy, I go on your trends and what the kids want today, and the likes and the TikToks and the thumbs
Kip,
up.
if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. You don't need validation from the kids on TikTok.
Buddy, like I said to you,
you got an AirPod in. Are you listening?
He's been out of sight, out of mind, right? He's been out of sight, out of mind. So it's like, good luck to you, bud.
Yeah.
Good, enjoy the West Coast. But there's some people out there.
But we got to look it right in the face.
That won't let it go or continue to kind of. And this is a big week for sure with Mitch and the Leafs. So, and he's coming back next week here.
Yeah.
Which
twice in 9 days.
We'll have to do it again. So, I mean, what do we make out of tonight?
Well, I think it's two very different things. From Mitch Marner's perspective, I'm sure he feels a lot of pressure, right? He made the decision to walk away from the Toronto Maple Leafs and to start anew in the West Coast in the sunshine with a new team. So I'm sure it's the first time welcoming everyone into his new home with his new family, and he wants to show well. Everyone's showered and buttoned up, and
lots of interviews.
I'm sure he wants to present
he's given, one-on-ones with I think the Toronto Star and the Athletic, and so he's doing his rounds.
Yeah, he's happy. The media's back.
Did we send anybody out there?
Yeah, I think we sent Anna Dua to L.A. last night to ask him questions after the game. I think
get in the scrum, get ahead of it.
It's a big deal.
Yeah,
I just don't want to ignore it.
Yeah, and then the other side is from the Maple Leafs perspective. Your lover left you, and you're starting over and rebuilding, and I'm sure that they want to show that they're doing just fine too.
Sammy, are there a few jilted lovers out there in Leafland still, or
I really don't. Like, to your point, I think it's been really refreshing to not talk about it every day. Mm-hmm. I think I'm surprised at the lack of talk about it, really. Like, we haven't mentioned his name a ton since the start of the year, and, we mixed it in here when we were talking about the power play struggling and the penalty kill struggling, but we never really dwelled on it. We never really dwelled on it, and I think we've kind of moved past it. But now that you're going up against the guy, and there's a Leaf fans here that, as you know, Kyper, and as you've talked about at length, aren't a big fan of this guy. And I do think that this is a really meaningful, maybe not even for the players, but maybe the players, it doesn't even matter as much as them as it does to the fans. But this is a game for the fans that if they lay an egg and Marner's great, there's going to be some pissed off people. I'm telling you. It's a big game for a lot of fans.
So, yes, there are some jilted lovers out there.
Well, I mean, you can put it that way. Sure, jilted lovers, but this guy who was offered the biggest contract in the history of the team and decided to leave, tampering with the Golden Knights at the Four Nations. Yeah, if you want to call us jilted lovers, but it's not like there's no reason. But
But there was also all this emotion far beyond just him leaving, right? There was always this feel of love him or hate him.
Sure.
More so than Tavares, more so than Willie, more so than Austin, right?
I think Willie and him have taken the brunt of it over the years. I think Leaf fans have. It's almost like political parties, really. Like it depends on the type of fan that you are.
Yeah,
but Willie has taken a ton of criticism. But
the one thing that
Tavares
Mitch,
and Matthews a bit
the one thing that Mitch had more so than any other four, I guess 3, was this perception that he was the spoiled, entitled player. Right?
Yeah.
My thing over all these years is I'm not sure where that stems from. I'm not sure if it was fair.
Do you want to talk about the Schedule B bonuses again?
Anything you want, buddy. That's why it's open here. But
we're running it back. Let's go.
But like, right? That's where it really stemmed from. It wasn't just him leaving, because people do that. Tavares left, your home at Long Island all those years.
He's perceived because of it, right? It's
much differently. Nobody calls him spoiled. Nobody calls him.
Oh my God! What? John Tavares on
in
Long
his
Island?
market? They're
no. Okay, no. I'm talking about the fans here, right?
Okay.
Well, yeah,
I'm just talking about
I'm
the
sure
fans
the
here.
Vegas fans aren't saying he's
So,
spoiled.
By the way, Islanders fans are loving this. They're loving this.
Okay, so yes, it does, but it follows any UFA that leaves, unfortunately, right? I mean, you got to.
I don't know. It depends how things are handled, and I don't feel like people feel it was handled in a way that they're satisfied with here, right? Like Mitch was a huge part of it. They did make an offer to re-sign him. He didn't want to be here. He didn't want to be traded. And so I think people take some umbrage with that. They feel like he denied the team a chance to get better. It's his right to do that. I don't think that makes you spoiled or entitled to say, no, I don't want to go. I have a no trade.
Yeah.
But I do think that there are people who don't like that. And then I think it also comes on the heels of the collective people falling out of love with the core four because of the playoff results and wanting someone to go and souring on the group and not believing in the group. And then towards the end, Mitch getting real short and snippy in interviews and everyone just kind of being like, someone has to go. And so they were kind of down on guys, and then he didn't want to go and he didn't want to sign, and everyone just feels like they got the double birds from him. So there's frustration in that regard.
Like, can I ask you a question, Kyper? And
But
we don't have to do this.
I'm here every day, Monday through Friday.
We don't have to do this every day anymore because he's gone. But like, do you, in your heart of hearts, feel like he did no wrong?
No wrong. He didn't get the job done.
But like, not even on the ice.
Where's the wrong, though? Like, tell me where he was.
You can tell Jordan B. Peterson when we have these questions. What does wrong really mean?
So, like, where is it wrong for you? Where the entitlement or the spoiled or the right?
I think that if at the start of the year last year was like, yeah, this is probably my last year here. I'm looking to leave or whatever he would have said in his PR way.
Nobody does that, Sammy. No athlete ever.
They literally just traded Quinn Hughes because he was probably talking about that, and they've done it with Tkachuk, and they've done it with lots of different players. That happens.
But that was on management and ownership. That wasn't on Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes would have played Marner's game all day long, right to the end, if he needed to.
I think the reports that come out about him in the middle of a season in the Leafs' probably best chance to win the Cup. They took the Stanley Cup final winners, the furthest anyone did. But the reports coming out of him asking Max Pacioretty about Vegas and asking Ryan Reeves about Vegas and, playing buddy with all the Vegas guys at the Four Nations and all that stuff coming out. And then the tampering thing and then them getting Nick Waugh, like all this smoke and all this fire where it feels like in the biggest chance they had to win the door, him having 1 foot out. That's the part that kills a lot of Leaf fans. It feels like looking back on it, he had 1 foot out the door the whole way in the Leafs' best chance.
That's fair.
That's
That's on management to
it's not,
figure it out.
Kyper.
Yeah,
It's
it
not
is.
on management.
Mitch doesn't need to tell you anything because now you got a phone that gives you information constantly. You're entitled to that information, Sammy.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think the millions and millions and millions of Leaf fans that care about this every day and pour their money and their hard-earned that try to fill the seats when they cost $500.
You can't even get them to tell you an injury in the first 35 games.
Yeah, but that's anyway.
It's funny because like he is entitled to not have to tell you anything and all that. I get it. He was within his rights, but it doesn't mean that people don't have to like it.
I totally understand that for sure.
Yeah.
Right. And there's in the history of sport, maybe Matthew Tkachuk's the first one I've ever seen go up to a team and say, I'm not coming back next year. So do what you need to do.
Yeah. And people had a lot of respect for that.
Yeah. And I don't think he is nearly hated in Calgary. Like, I think people.
Uyghur's been great. Huberdeau's a big part of their team. Like,
they
got a chance to salvage something. And
I don't
see
know.
the team's struggling, but
I think it'll be interesting. Obviously, tonight it's in Vegas, but next Friday it'll be really interesting. Mm-hmm. It's going to be very, very. I mean, I saw your poll.
I did drop a poll. Will he get booed or will he not get booed? And people thought it was very poetic that currently 93% of people think he'll get booed.
He's going to get booed.
I mean, he could get booed in his own building tonight. There's a ton of Leaf fans that go to these games. It's a huge Vegas destination. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the weather outside today, but there's a lot of people heading south. I could hear some boos in his own building. I hope
they didn't travel today. How many flights?
Yeah, that's true.
Today?
There may be some people missing.
Yeah,
500 flights.
People missing
Vegas tonight.
Do you want to listen to Mitch Marner? Do we have a clip from him?
We have 2 different clips from him. Yeah, we do. Let's do the first one on the matchup with the Leafs tonight.
I haven't thought about it until right now. Been trying to just focus on our games, focus on who we play in the next opponent. So, I mean, I'm sure on the plane ride home, it's going to hit more. That's tomorrow night. And, I don't think I got to look at it any different. Just look at it as another hockey game and, just try to go out there and do my thing.
Okay, that's the kind of stuff that people could read between the lines going, you didn't really think about it at all up until now?
Yeah. Didn't think about it at all. It's like, it's he obviously did, and that's frustrating.
It's
just say that.
Just like, a cliche.
I've known this was coming at some point. And
right. He's just trying to go with the cliche kind of standard line.
You know, it's like it's unfortunate. Like if he were better at interviews, if he were half as good at interviews as he was playing hockey, he'd be a lot better.
I probably agree with you that there's at times he's said stuff that obviously has been taken out of context.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes he worries about saying things a little bit too much and not trusting or letting the natural feel kind of come out. But that's okay now that he's in Vegas because it won't matter when he speaks to 1 or 2 reporters.
I want to throw something in here too, which is just that because you and I have kind of established positions on Marner over the years. Yeah. I have always felt like I can't praise Marner because then it's going to be like, oh, he's the best player in the league and he's better than Matthews or whatever. And I've always been like, I felt like I have had to balance the scale on the other side.
Which is good.
Well, it's been fun-ish. But
honestly, our show has been so much less toxic, no Marner, this year. I'm glad to get back to some toxicity here.
But this guy, I mean, was such a good hockey player for the Leafs. And I think a well-liked guy, by and large, I know the interviews don't always go great, but a well-liked guy in the community and such an important part of a lot of very good years here. I'm not advocating for him to not get booed. I understand how he left and all that. But it is, I think it's strange. The Leafs are worse without him, and we knew they would be. I think it's strange. I almost wish he would I just wish he would acknowledge that, like, that was hard. That was a tough decision. I've been thinking about this game, and I knew it would come one day.
Yeah.
And,
I think it's going to come at the end of his career.
Yeah.
Right? I don't want to hear it. If I'm a Vegas fan now and I just promised you $12 million a year, I don't want to hear it. So he can't go down that path. You use the word strange. I'll use the word just sad.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one of the saddest things, I think, in the history of the Toronto Maple Leafs, that you have this guy who was on his way to being him and Austin, top of the mountain.
Yeah.
Right? Statues and career point leaders and all of it. And coming to a complete halt and having a Toronto-born player become the all-time point leader or better pace than anyone in the history of the organization.
Except Matthews.
Right?
Yeah.
Points.
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
No, Matthews is better point pace than him. But anyway, don't want to do this.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Matthews and Marner.
Yeah.
And for one of them to race out of here it's you give me another example of a guy leaving or being traded that compares to a guy of historical proportions like that.
I will say what I think led us to where it is, and that sadness is that it was almost taken for granted that this statues, all-time point leaders, cups, it was going to happen for this group. Because in this market, when all these guys were on the team at the same time and young, they were all told it's coming for them. You guys, this is the greatest core. You guys are going to be the best. It's all, and it was just, I don't want to say handed to them, but you talk about that entitlement. It's not just Mitch. I think that whole group felt like it was going to happen.
Yes.
It's going to happen. One of these years, it's going to happen. And it doesn't, you have to take it.
Yeah.
And they never managed to take it.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, though. He could have stayed.
He could have stayed.
He could have stayed, Sam, but he was smart enough to go, it's been 10 years.
You sure about that?
It's been 10 years.
Yeah.
And we'll never win here.
Okay.
We'll never win here.
Okay.
And that's why he left. And I can't win here.
So that's what you think they'll never win?
He made the decision, in my opinion, that this group that has had 10 years will never get it over the finish line as is. And if I have to be the sacrificial lamb, I'll do it. Right? You guys all been screaming for somebody to leave.
Him.
Oh yeah.
He did it for the people.
Oh my God.
You want somebody to leave? I'm leaving.
I'll say this is a guy that looked at the grass being greener.
Where would you rather have him sign $12 or $13 million, be in last place at Christmas, and Sammy, you would have plugged your nose every day. Not just the one time when I told you that he'd signed for $12 million a year. Yeah. You'd be plugging your nose every day.
I guess I want Mitch Marner to, like you said, be from the area and not be like, we'll never win here. I would like him to be a Toronto-born guy that's like, I'd love to try to win here and take the biggest contract that's ever been offered to a Toronto Maple Leaf and be in my hometown and try to win and keep kicking the can. Why does he care what I say?
Because
he shouldn't care about me. Like, he shouldn't care about us.
Yeah, I know, but it goes much further than that too, right? Because it got personal for him. It got personal for his wife and his kid, and it got real personal, Sam.
Yeah.
It got, people at his front door. It got security and police. It's like, that's not that normal. That's not the way it should be.
Listen, I'm not going to comment on
right?
it. I don't want to get into that part of it. But,
So,
and
he could have got 13 million, 14 million here. It's like, no, I think I've had enough.
That hurts people too. And so can we turn the page to him in Vegas now and how, what I think he saw as a chance to get away from that, the noise, the people, the interviews, the whatever, and to go somewhere where a team is already built and having success in a warm climate, and it's going to be, glitz and glamour and no pressure and success and all these other things. And I think it's been hard so far. And I don't know how it's going to go long term. They still have lots of great players and they're competitive and they could add at the deadline and this could be the year. But, I don't think it's gone how he thought it would go in Vegas so far this year. He's played with 7 players for over 60 minutes each. He's playing, ice time is down, points are down, goals are down.
Yeah, he's not even on the first line.
Yeah, like he's playing the softer competition, all heavy ozone starts, like things he didn't do here. And he's just less important there. And not because he's any worse a player. There's just other very good players. And I think I understand Mitch after years of following him. And I think he likes to be important and to feel important and to feel like it's part of his thing. And so you're there and you don't know people and you're the new guy on the team and you're not as important in the lineup. And maybe it'll get back to how it was for him, but I think so far it's not been.
I didn't watch the game last night, but I checked, and it was like
16 and a half last night.
and a half minutes, right?
Dash one, and
like he had
a goal.
He had to have been hurt to play 16 and a half minutes for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, I mean, he was playing 20. He was usually near in the top 5 in forward ice time in the league when he was here. And he's still playing 20 minutes a night. He's not being used.
Yes.
But
I mean, we all read the Jonas piece, and I wouldn't say it painted the rosiest picture. I'm not sure. Like, I don't think it was unfair, a lot of the stuff that Jonas, I'm not saying that. But just, he's FaceTiming his friends every Sunday morning, like trying to figure out trips when they're going to come down and visit him. Like, he had it all. He was the star player of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
He
wasn't happy.
He wasn't have it all.
But is he happy
he was
now?
not happy.
Like, I don't know.
Maybe he will be, right? It's part of the building towards
Well,
something.
hold on. To sit there and say after 40 games he's not happy.
I'm not saying he's it. I asked you if he is. I don't know.
I think there's a process that he's going to have to just go through, and it may never get to the point where, you're the top guy there. Not with Eichel and Stone there, and these guys have won Stanley Cups.
Yeah.
They're trying to – Mitch is looking at them going, okay, what's the secret sauce here? Because I didn't see it in Toronto. So he may have to play second banana here for a little while. But at this point of his career, with now no worry about contracts or anything, the only thing left for him to do is just be part of a championship team. It's not to pad stats here or – look like a first-team all-star. At least that's what I would think he would be thinking after 10 years.
Well,
now.
It's what I would be thinking if I were him. I would be, all right, done tons of great stuff on my own and, made the Olympic team and all sorts of personal accolades. But, yeah, you would be thinking it's go time as a team.
Sportsnet.ca had an article on him today. Did you read it? It was
Adam Vingan.
Adam Vegan.
Yeah, Vingan.
So all his numbers, JB, are very consistent with those in Toronto. Like he was raving on his play with how dangerous he still is,
and how they're all down. I mean,
I don't know. I don't know how much down they are, though.
I mean, some,
right?
Yeah.
So he's still very consistent on. When he's on the ice, he still looks a lot like the player that he was in Toronto.
His 5-on-5 numbers in particular are similar to last year. Now, last year was not great in Toronto in general. The team struggled. They had their best years were like 21,
and he's not
22.
Playing with Austin Matthews, right?
Totally.
And everybody's saying, oh, okay, Austin's missing Mitch, but like, come on, Riley Smith back again. And I don't know, healthy scratch 6 times, 8 times, 10 times this year. And then what's the other kid there? Dorofeev.
Yeah.
Right? Pretty good guy on a power play. He's got some talent, but I don't think 5-on-5 he's been very good at all. So it's a downgrade. His second line is a tremendous downgrade from, again, what he's been used to in Toronto.
Right, but for them, that's, you're getting an engine. You drive that line. You pay the money to say, hey, pick up a couple of guys and keep us moving. So
and, again, still on a pace for 85, 90 points. And it's not 100, but
no, to me, it's like he's down.
70.
He's on pace for 20 goals, and he had a 35-goal season here, and it's, I think, 85 points is the pay, or 86 or something like that. You're right. He's still doing well, and his defensive numbers are excellent. Like, he is a very valuable player. He is earning his paycheck there, no doubt about it. It's just, it's hard all over. And let's face it, you look at the Leafs, Dakota Joshua's not playing, and that's not helping. But Matthias Michelli was scratched 9 times, and who else did they spend the money on? Or they got Nick Waugh, who, he's been good. He's been what you thought you were getting.
We kind of buried the lead. Waugh, revenge game.
Nick Waugh, he led the team out today. Got a hot lap, apparently. Yeah. Waugh back home.
Did they go to bed early last night?
Yeah, they were out in Vegas, weren't they?
I mean, I got to tell you, I can't have an egg tonight.
Aren't you more worried about the Toronto one in Toronto?
No, I'm extremely worried about both.
Oh, okay.
And especially tonight where they flew from Utah, right? Where they flew in right after the game straight to Vegas. So they had a full day off and night off in Sin City, which,
I mean, played guilty tonight.
I just hope that they look good, because that's good. That piece of information is, if they look bad, I'm telling you, it'll run a little wild with that. But I just want them.
Utah to Vegas, they're probably there before midnight.
Yeah,
they could have had that night too.
I didn't even think of that.
To Sammy's point, I think we will learn a lot more about this team tonight, and I wish they came in with better momentum than the stinker against Utah.
Yeah.
But they just came off a 10-point game point streak.
But Vegas,
which is fine. Is fine. But they cannot spend a week and a half to straighten things out again. They need 48 hours to straighten things out.
Yeah.
And that was the problem before Christmas, is that everybody's like, oh, okay. When do they turn it around? And they need a week and a half, 2 weeks. They play a good game. They need another week and a half to straighten things out. And then now we go from an unbelievable game against Colorado, a really bad game that kind of looked a lot like games before Christmas. Mm-hmm. And then what do we see tonight?
Yeah. I do think that they were looking ahead to this game, patting themselves on the back for Colorado, looking ahead to Vegas. Took a couple punches from Utah and the car wash on the way through.
What do you expect from the Leafs players tonight? Like, in terms of,
I think they're going to pretend they don't care.
I think it's
they all did pretend.
I think it's going to look a lot like just any other game.
That sucks.
I totally agree with Kip. Well, what are they going to do, Sam? Run him, fight him? Like,
just look mad at him.
He doesn't take contact.
No,
he doesn't.
There's no mad at him. There's no.
Did you
nothing.
see him get mad in 10 years here, 9 years here?
Well, this is a different situation. This is the guy that chose up and packed up and left to leave, and why? I want them to not like him.
The potential person, who could not like Mitch? McCabe could put on a mean face.
Uh-huh.
Somebody going to run him?
I'd love it.
Who?
I'd love it too. But if
Nick Waugh chases him around,
if it happened,
him down?
It wouldn't be because we expected it. We'd be surprised by it.
Yeah.
Right? There's nothing, to JB's point, that has shown us in the past that this is the type of behavior that we can be looking at. Now, give me the Florida Panthers, and we'll have a different conversation.
Here's the one thing I don't want. I don't want cutesy little winks and smiles.
That's going to happen.
After the whistle, in 100%. Scrums.
100%.
I don't, and God, I was so guilty of that as a player, but I don't want that. I don't want, it's one thing to not make a big deal about it. It's another thing to we're all just having fun. It's shinny out here.
We got a Austin Matthews clip on Marner. Do we get any sense of that, or
we get a sense?
I haven't heard it. Mitch, we know he's a great player. We know what he can do out there. And
Mitchie, did he go Mitchie?
On facing
Gotta
Marner?
be
Wait, which
Mitchie.
one? Let's play the first one.
On facing Marner.
Yeah. Clip one.
Yeah, I mean, it'll obviously, be a little bit different, but in the end of the day, it's a hockey game. It's a good team on the other side, and, we're looking to get back on track ourselves, so it's an important one.
No mention.
Oh, no, not even no mention. Went out of his way to avoid Mitchie.
And then
that's a good sign.
But then the second clip. How about Matthews' clip?
It's a great sign.
Matthews' clip too.
Yeah, we definitely keep in touch a pretty decent amount. I mean, like I said, at the beginning of the year, he's always going to be a really close friend. He's a great person. So, we definitely keep in touch. And, it's kind of tough with the schedule and stuff like that, but obviously it's going to be fun playing against him.
I'm okay with that. I'm all right. Again, I just didn't want to hear Mitchie out of Austin Matthews' mouth.
No.
Our captain's growing up.
Could you guys imagine the show we would do if those two just shed them and just had a center ice fight?
There is nothing
it would shut down our show.
There is not
escalated quickly.
anything that would really if Austin Matthews ran Mitch Marner tonight. Yeah. The amount he would go up.
American ESPN Sports Center, we're talking, might lead with that.
Yeah, I don't know. This big coaching cycle in the NFL.
It would be a pillow fight.
Oh, yeah, no.
We saw the last time that Matthews
undangerous.
Fought. Remember when he fought Stamkos? The first ever fight between two 60 goal scorers? Yeah. Yeah. So, I guess we kind of, I don't know if you guys have anything else to add.
No.
Kyper wrote about Wall today.
I did.
Why didn't you write about Mitch?
That was Truly cowardly on your part.
Come on. The biggest game, he's like, oh, Joseph Wall's got to be the starter.
The guy's gone.
Come on.
When was the last time you watched a 10 o'clock game? He's out. He might as well be on another planet.
I watched the first period of
two.
I watched the first period of a lot of 10 o'clock games.
I'm exhausted right now.
9:30 tonight. 9:30 tonight.
Puck drop at 9:30?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I could use the extra half hour.
I can make it. I can make
It's
it. Friday.
Friday. It's Friday tomorrow, so it's fine.
I did write in the Toronto Star about Joseph Wall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is he
was
ready?
good.
Is he ready?
It's good.
Is he ready?
Is
Is this the year that that's his net and no one's taken that away from me?
has anything changed with him or who we think he is, or like we know he's a great goaltender?
I don't know.
I'll just say this: he's one of those guys now who you love him and think he's great. You're just not sure he's going to be there the next day.
Does he need to play Vegas tonight like he did Colorado for the Leafs to win?
Probably. God, I was looking at the stats, Sport Logic, each team up against each other. Vegas is like elite. They're the best defensive team in the NHL. Their offense is probably top 5. Leafs,
They can't get a save.
yeah, they can't get a save.
So that's where Leafs totally dominate tonight.
Out goaltend them tonight. What a plan.
That's a big deal. That's
Yeah.
a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, they at least have some good players who've been playing pretty
It's the
well.
one position that can earn you 2 points.
It's moving in the right direction for sure, Sam. The year total numbers are not pretty.
No, they're not. But I mean, what do they look like post Christmas?
Better.
Yeah,
Better,
So,
particularly when the game is tied or within 1, which is really all you should care about.
all right, let's go.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight.
Yeah.
I don't write about Mitch Marner. You give me heat. If I came in with my Toronto Star article today on Mitch Marner, you give me heat. You tell me how I win.
You're
Listen.
screwed.
Totally screwed.
For the record, I don't actually think you were cowardly at all. You've done your part on the Marner front.
I would have liked a Marner article. This would piss me off. I'm in a bad mood today. Snowstorm, golf season's far away. Marner coming in here. Oh, I don't even think about
pissy.
I never even thought about this hockey game.
And
We hockey? What's hockey?
and,
God.
and no
crazy.
Tucker signing up for the Jays.
We'll save our thoughts. I'll do Sportsnet today, and we can talk about Tucker tomorrow.
Okay, we'll take a quick break. Do we have Luke Fox out
We
of
do.
Vegas?
He's there.
Oh, a scene setter.
You got it.
With our very own Sportsnet.ca, Luke Fox. Coming up next on The Real Kyper and Bourne Show. Welcome back to the program. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. Top of the hour, we're going to welcome in Steve Alliquette, usually on Tuesdays, but there was a little scheduling going on.
Thursday this week.
Sorry?
Thursday this week. Thursday. Anyways.
What's today, Wednesday?
Thursday, bud.
What did I say?
You said...
Who's on first?
It's the late starts.
Listen, we're all hot and bothered. We haven't argued about Marner in a while. We're all hot and bothered.
I gotta say, I've been dreading that
And
since
I'm tired.
September, so it feels good to put that
felt good.
first
All
block
right.
behind us.
I loved it.
Just wanted to mention Steve Alliquette.
Valley will be here.
That's it.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about Joseph Wall with him, amongst other things. In the meantime, let's go to Vegas, where Joseph Wall will be staring down Mitch Marner tonight. And our very own Luke Fox will be there watching every bit of it.
Look at that backdrop.
Look at you, eh?
Cool.
You look like you just won $100 on roulette.
I heard it's a little bit snowy back home.
Oh, beat it.
Yeah, scram beat
But
it.
you know what? Tomorrow I wake up and fly to Winnipeg. So
Oh, that's
There.
karma
Good.
right there.
Good.
That's
We're
how
really
it
happy.
works.
Yeah.
So, our Luke Fox, how does it feel for you? You've covered a million of these hockey games, but tonight is Mitch Marner's, the first one since leaving. Is there a different feel, a vibe, more media, less media? Like, what's going on that we can't see?
yeah, a couple more media than would normally turn up. But you know, it's really fallen, I think, in Marner's favor, the fact that both of his games against his former team come on the second half of a back-to-back. So the Vegas Golden Knights are doing zero media today, not even pregame.
Wow.
So, you know, all the questions will have to wait till after the game. But the Maple Leafs players were kind of really going out of their way to make this not a story. I don't know how good they're going to be successful they are going to be to do that. But, you know, Morgan Riley said, it's just another game, really. And Tavares was saying, we've played against former players all the time. But Marner's different, right? You know, he was supposed to be part of the group that won, 1, 2, 3 championships. Like, there was so much promise packed into him as part of the core. And his departure is kind of a signal that it didn't work. And, you know, that leaves a taste in with fans. It leaves, you know, I'm sure something Marner thinks about, even though he's downplaying it too. And, you know, you'd like to see the Leafs, to get their points because they need them, but also just to prove a point that, hey, we're a good team without you and we can beat a good team. And they also have the advantage of catching the Golden Knights tired because they played in LA last night.
Yeah, that is certainly one of the advantages they have going for them. I want to get your thoughts. Just, you're around the team all year long. And when you ask people questions about this Marner stuff, everyone's doing a PR spin thing. No one is like, let me mask off, tell you how I really feel. How do you feel Marner's absence within the group? I know he was a pretty upbeat, talkative guy around there. Is that one of the ways? Are there other ways that you feel his absence?
Yeah, he was a big voice in the room. You know, Matthews was talking about it today, about how he kept things light. He had, you know, he ran the music. He threw a lot of team parties. Like, he was a guy behind the scenes. And I think it's been an adjustment. And I think what really hurt that adjustment in the early going, like the intangibles, the stuff most of us don't see, was Scott Laughton's injury. And the vibes around this team, now that Scott Laughton is back and involved, you know, there's this new tradition they started just this morning. You know, that lots of teams will have a guy go in the middle if it's a big revenge game and lead the morning stretch. So they had Nick Waugh do that. But now what's started is a hot lap and the guys are slamming their sticks and they're hollering and chirping. There's just more energy around the group. So
must have taken a long time. It was Nick Waugh, you said?
Yeah, well, they made Laughton do that in Philly, and then Nick Waugh did that this morning. And there's just like a joy about the team. Yeah, and I think they stumbled to try and figure out who was going to be that guy after Marner left. And Scott's really stepped up in that regard.
I'm just joking, by the way. Nick Waugh.
Anyone else in your mind has that potential to be a bit of a glue guy and outside of a Laughton? Like, is it is it basically a job or a title that's open for the grabbing?
Yeah, I mean, I think Domi a little bit like that. But there's other guys that are glue guys in different ways. Like that Jake McCabe's highly respected, but he's a serious cat, man. Like he is, he's not the biggest joker. So like he has it in different ways. But in terms of lightening the mood, Lawton's leading the charge. I think Troy Stetcher, crazy as it is, because he was a waiver pickup, has kind of really become one of the guys really quickly. He's very vocal. He's right in the mix already. So just having a bit of a different mix. I think it took them a while to find their identity on the ice, but off the ice as well. And we're really seeing the fruits of it, up until that egg they laid in Utah.
What is the sense you get from Marner's time in Vegas so far? How he's playing, how he's liking it, how his team is liking his addition?
Yeah, he's not used as much, right? Like before, you wouldn't even question that he wouldn't be on PP1, PK1, first guy over the boards anytime there's 3-on-3 overtime. So his usage is different, but he's still getting his points. I think he's around a point per game. Really fascinating that he's playing center now. He's not good at faceoffs. He never practiced them hardly ever as a Leaf, and I think he's like 38%. But he's so defensively aware. He's so smart. They had him playing defense for a while in Toronto, right? So he definitely can adapt to that. But it's just fascinating that he had this years and years in Toronto, and they never really tried him up the middle. I asked Craig Berube this morning, actually, like how seriously you consider it. He said, we had some long conversations about it last year when Matthews was hurt. Like, should we try this? And he wanted him to like, okay, but you got to get good at your faceoffs. And, I don't think he and Marner said he was up for trying center, but I didn't see him working on his faceoffs a lot. So I don't know. It's just interesting how a different coach will use a guy in different ways.
Luke, you mentioned the egg laid in Utah, and we had a pretty healthy conversation on scheduled losses. But how important is it tonight that they come back and look like the team after Christmas and not the team before Christmas in Utah?
Yeah, massive, Nick. Like, you get one. I think the coach was giving them a bit of a pass. I think the guys kind of understood right from the jump that they didn't have half the legs that the Mammoth had. They took it to them. And it's like, okay, a lot of travel, big win against the Avalanche. You made your statement. We've been rolling. I think it was nine games in a row with at least a point. We'll give you the one. Is kind of the sense that I got from Craig Berube. And even the guys weren't too hard on each other. Hildeby was the only one really kind of taking it hard. But you can't come back and give an effort like that. You're the rested team. This is a big game. And you can't let it slip. You had such a good thing going in Denver. And up until that point, that you got to slam the gas. And there was good energy this morning. I think they'll be up for this one.
Sinbin.Vegas is a Twitter follow, one of the accounts I follow for my Vegas news, and they're saying that Aiden Hill has been removed from IR, indicating he'll play tonight. Carter Hart and Brandon Saad have been placed on IR, so getting Aiden Hill, the goaltending there, been a bit of a mess, and Carter Hart hasn't been exactly what they hoped, has he, Luke?
No, well, it's a lot of time off, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, we see it with every team. Think of all the teams that have used 3 or 4 goalies. It's become a real precarious position, I think, in the league. There's just not enough dependable workhorse goalies to go around. But they took a chance and they took their beating in the PR game by signing him. And in doing that, you hope that he's a difference maker. And we'll see, right? Like he's going to be judged like the Knights are going to be judged. And that's in the playoff time. It's not right now.
Luke, red number 4 on the roulette table. That's what you got to play. Okay.
That's your lucky one?
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
All right. And we split it when you win.
Okay. Are you putting up the money for the bet?
Well, yeah. We'll talk offline. How much am I putting on for you?
Might get you to place a bet. That might be fun.
Yeah. Send to the high stakes baccarat
Let's
table
group
for me.
transfer Luke a bet for us.
Enjoy the game tonight, Luke.
Okay, have a good one, guys.
Thanks, pal. Appreciate
That's
it.
our very own Luke Fox, sportsnet.ca.
You know, I played in the East Coast League when Vegas had a team. Their home record, I think, was 47-0. Like, you know.
Didn't you tell me you played like midnight games?
Yeah, they have a midnight game a couple times a year, I think, in Vegas. It's like there's no hours, right? It's just whatever. We'd get in there late some nights, and it's like it doesn't close. You just, where do you want to go?
So it would start. Where was this rink?
In the Orleans Hotel, where we would stay. We stayed in the hotel with a rink in it. It's off strip, but
Boy, was it
How many seats?
no, not bad. Honestly, I had probably 5,000-6,000, like a ECHL sized arena.
Was it like in the old part of Vegas?
Yeah.
No.
They were more near old.
Crazy.
Yeah, locals.
You must have got
locals, buddy. But it wasn't pretty.
So all the pit bosses, all the pit bosses are going around the tables going, I can't copy a dinner, but here's 2 tickets.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, the tickets are a massive giveaway there. I think that's
I will say
with your hotel room.
I don't know how many years ago it was that I went to Vegas. Maybe 2 years ago now, 3 years ago. And Allie and I were lucky enough to get tickets. And we sat in the lower bowl. And we went they played Pittsburgh. It is the greatest in-game experience I've ever.
Yeah, they put on a show.
It's truly electric. Like the pregame show and the in-arena experience. Like it's 10 out of 10.
You get away with cheesiness there. That's the key.
Yeah, totally.
You're right. It is corny, but it's Vegas, so everybody expects it to be corny. But it just, I bought a Vegas Golden Knights hat. I liked the Golden Knights because now the
arena seats 9,500.
9,500.
Yeah.
You want to go once or twice a year to Vegas? That's cool. You give me season tickets there, and I got to watch that for 40 games.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? Oh, like the in-game experience.
Yes,
You'd be
the
getting there.
in-game experience.
You'd be getting there at 7:12 instead of 6:45.
Enough already.
It's funny that we're like totally okay with like the corniness with Vegas, and everyone was like the gold jerseys, glitz. It's
I hate
Vegas. It's okay. It is okay, but the jerseys stink.
The jerseys suck.
You could have done some crazy cool jerseys with Vegas and gold and silver and whatever you wanted to do. And
I actually had.
What about red? What red?
I had such a nice Golden Knights hat, but I had to put it on the street as soon as Marner signed there. I had to put it on the street. It was so nice. It was like a rope hat with glitzy Vegas gold. It was awesome.
The
I had to get rid of it.
obsession on jerseys on this show.
Hey, it's an important part of the game. The Nordiques ones the other nights were fantastic. I know Sam feels.
I don't think they're that great.
Comfortable with it.
I don't think they're that great.
I think it's really refreshing to see a nice bright color.
For sure, the color's nice, but I don't know the fleur-de-lis, the whole what
is the logo? It's an elephant.
I don't know what it is.
It's an elephant. Yeah, I honestly for years we should just Google it. I'm sure it's an answer. But
so Luke brought it up there. He asked Berube, get your thoughts that him never playing center here and him playing center. Like, are they going to face off at the opening dot tonight, Marner and Matthews?
Yeah, maybe. That'd be kind of cool.
I think you've been somewhat validated by a coach finally doing it because you're like, hey, could we try this like a distributor out of the middle? You said it for years.
At the very beginning.
Yeah.
Willie or Sammy, how would you have felt with Matthews and Marner?
1-2 punch down the middle.
Punch.
A lot better than Willie and Matthews 1-2 punch down the middle.
You know that, and why Marner was always the better candidate is the defensive conscience. Like it doesn't have to be great at faceoffs.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that big a deal.
Yeah, you know what hurts?
38%.
38% is below cool.
Yeah, below
for
cool.
Sure.
Well, you know what's really going to hurt Vegas now is that William Karlsson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a good player. He drives the play well,
and may not be back this year.
Is that right?
Really?
Yeah.
You know what bothers me most about not trying Mitch at center or Willie at center is that Mitch and Willie never got a chance to see if they could have anything consistent in terms of chemistry. Like maybe they could have, worked a little give and go here and there. We just never got the chance to find out. They're kind of the two of the four guys who both dish and shoot, are capable of doing both anyway. So too bad.
In both your heart of hearts, do you think Marner lights it up tonight?
Yes. I think he does.
What's light up
like
mean?
3 points.
Like I
plays
think
22 minutes.
He's going to have his best game of the season.
It's not trending that way for the team right now. He could end up with 1-1, but it's not flowing that way for him in Vegas right now. And I don't know. Does he play 20 minutes tonight, or is he more closer to last night?
I bet you they do. They
go 22 minutes tonight.
I think they get it. Like Bruce Cassidy gets it.
I do too, and I really love the way that Matthews has been playing recently. Clearly, he's been excellent.
Actually, funny if he goes up against Mitch center on center,
and even in that crappy Mammoth game that not a lot of Leaf fans finished. Yeah. He was excellent all the way through that game. Having him playing like this, going up against that, I'm expecting a big night from the Leafs captain too.
I got to see Eichel and Stone against Matthews. Mm-hmm. There's no way Cassidy doesn't go with that matchup, in my opinion.
No, you're right. He will. He will.
And it's nice that Stone. I mean, I think there's a lot of people that kind of
Marner versus Tavares,
maybe, but a lot of people are questioning
that for the Leafs.
questioning Stone on the Olympic team, and he's one of the hottest players.
He's
in the league.
been
I think he's got 9-game point streak going right now. He's been on fire, scored the overtime winner last night. So
yeah. We had the big debate on our broadcast last night of the Sens, like who should replace Point, and 4 different cases were made for Wyatt Johnston. I did Sam Bennett. Connor Bedard was made. I think I threw out Seth Jarvis, but do you have any sense for?
I'm leaning towards Bennett.
That's who I made the case for.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know if he's going to get the nod.
Got to be
right. Left and rights matter. Connor Bedard
has to be Bennett. Has to be. If it's not Bennett, we riot.
How Bennett. Close of a game tonight, guys? Are we going to see something like Colorado?
It's going to be a great
Leafs in Colorado.
Close game.
Close game. Good game. Maybe overtime. Every game goes to OT. So, OT winner, Mitch Marner.
We are certainly looking forward to it as much as you are. And we're right back here tomorrow on Off the Rails Friday to talk all about it on our Leaf Hour edition. Our thanks to Luke Fox. Coming up next, Steve Alliquette, analyst with the New York Rangers. What is going on there? We'll ask him about that. Joseph Wall. What else is going on out there?
I asked him to look
Chara's
up some Marner
retirement
stuff too, so ask him about Marner too.
Don't go away. It's more as we go national on the Real Kyper and Bourne Show. It's just about time we go national on the Real Kyper and Bourne Show. We're live on Sportsnet 650 in Vancouver, 960 in Calgary, and streaming always on Sportsnet Plus. Also available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, where we always enjoy a thumbs up. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee, Jake the Snake Schultz, Derek Brandeo, and Ethan Jaja Gabor. This hour, Real Kyper, is brought to you by Bet365. In a few minutes, Steve Alaquette, a rare Thursday appearance, but we get him in this week.
Yep, made it happen.
Always good. In the meantime, I was just looking at Biz Nasty's Twitter fight with Butch Goring, which is awesome.
This is an age old. They've been going at it for, I would say, a solid 5 years. They've been going at it.
And Butch's latest one is congratulations on a great career. And it just, I don't know what it says.
It's just business.
Two-time East Coast Hockey League All-Star team.
0.03 career goals per game.
Butch won, he was all 4 cups, right?
Yeah.
He's had a pretty good career.
He Isles Hall of Famer.
Tons to get into with Valley, including what is going on with the New York Rangers. A game that you did, Justin, last night on Wednesday night, Scotiabank Hockey.
Yeah.
Right? Ottawa.
Yeah, you enjoyed it, I assume, start to finish?
Listen, that's my old alumni team there in New York.
Yeah.
It pains me. I'm in pain for them.
Yeah. Well, and our guy there, behind the scenes, one of our leaders of the whole program is a big Rangers fan. Like, there's reason to root for him, but boy, they didn't deliver last night.
All right, let's get a feel out of Steve Alaquette, analyst for the New York Rangers on MSG. He covered the game last night, CEO of ClearSight Analytics, where we get all the good numbers. We throw away the bad numbers, but we'll take the good numbers out of Valley anytime. Valley, how are you, my friend?
Sobering day here in New York. Bourne, what's going on with my team? Give me a breakdown from last night.
Let's welcome in.
Man, no one can get a play stopped out there. The Sens just got to have it all night, Valley.
Yeah, I know.
Like, who have they? They've moved off Keandre Miller, Jacob Trouba. Is there another one? Because that decor was good.
We've had 11 first-round draft picks since 2017, and just 2 are currently full-time players, Braden Schneider and Lafreniere. So it's, Bourne, I was going over this in my head this morning because it's my 12th year at MSG, and I've seen it. I've seen the team go from the Stanley Cup final in 2014 to the Eastern Conference final and lose in 2015 to the Tampa Bay Lightning, through the rebuild, the letter and everything.
Yeah.
And right now I'm sitting here this morning saying, geez, where are we right now?
Yeah.
Because
sorry, I should say Lindgren, just remembered, was also one of the guys that was there.
Yeah. No, it's been a long list. And
Valley, just in terms of almost like, boy, this escalated quickly, but did it really? The two teams that I look at right now that on the surface, it could look like, oh my God, what happened? We're talking about playoffs, and now look at them. It's the Rangers in Vancouver, whereas they're really in similar positions here, where it's like, did this really sneak up on them, or was this like the movie The Big Short, where only just a few people know for sure it was coming?
Both teams had off-ice stuff, and I know that a lot happened to the room. The room got pretty fractured when Barclay Goodrow was traded and how he was traded. And the ramifications of that and some other off-ice last year affected the room. I mean, that was publicly well known. Jacob Trouba, Chris Kreider, a lot of the leadership group turned over. And it seems to me like when you look at what happened in Vancouver, a lot has paralleled. When I listened to your show with Dhaliwal the other day, he was speaking to me, Kyper. I'm driving home and I'm like, geez, he's talking about the Rangers. Really? Listening to Rick talk, he was talking the same talk that we've been hearing and experiencing and living through here in New York. And it happens quickly in this league. And sometimes I had a conversation with an NHL scout earlier, it's funny how when you draft really well, how much equity you have and how much ability you have to improve your team, because other teams want your players and they're willing to help you because they want your young guys. And if you don't draft really well, you just have a hard time making up for any mistakes, any injuries, any holes in your lineup. It's very difficult to get over it. It all starts with the scouts. And all the scouts out there, I hope you guys are getting paid really well, because the more I see the game from this vantage point, I see it from, you need great scouting, you need player development, and then you need lockstep with management and coaches to get those players developed, because then you have something. And there's been some misses here, guys. We've had a lot of whiffs at the draft and player development in New York, and that's, you can't argue that.
You know, Kyper talked about The Big Short and seeing it coming. I got to believe if you trade for JT Miller and make him your captain, you don't see it coming. They weren't the people placing that bet. They thought that this team still was worth salvaging.
Well, you had to go for it, I think, at that time, Bourne, because you still have Panarin and you still have Zibanejad, and what the team needed at that point was an alpha dog, and that's what they thought they brought in.
Right.
And Bourne, going back to a few weeks ago when you were talking about JT Miller as an amplifier, that really caught my attention when you said that, because when things are going well, he can really amplify it. And when things are not, he can do the same. And the body language and the turnovers, and he's had a really tough time this year, and it's amplified.
You know, a lot of people aren't happy. Post-game comments too out of JT Miller with I don't know, and you know, whatever the case is. And on one hand, it'd be great if he could communicate a little better, you know, with articulating, you know, what's going on and maybe just helping. But on the other hand, he is what he is. He is who he is. You know, you knew that before you traded for him. You knew that before you're going to put the C on him. It's not like he's going up there and faking who he is right now. This is what he is. This is who he is. And it's like, we can argue whether or not you should have been named captain to begin with, but I don't expect anything more out of him, at least when it comes to off-ice comments. Why should anybody else?
Look, he's been all the way authentic. There's nothing wrong with that. We are who we are. And I think that we all look like crap if we aren't acting as if the same way that, you know, it's doing TV. You guys do TV. I think the most honest impression that I get from people is that if I'm talking to you off camera, you sound the same way on camera. Same delivery, same language, same tone. And that's the way JT is. And you know, I was told that you need to have a strong room to bring him in, because there has to be somebody in the room at times to tell him to shut the you know what up. But that's who he is. Yeah. He's gonna live and die by that sword. By the same token, it's hard for fans to hear the common phrases and language and tone after games where he hasn't played up to the pace and reputation that he can. He could be a bulldog out there, and you know, look, it's the same thing too. You don't know how hurt somebody is, and I hate to come down on somebody and pile on at the same time.
Just one more for me from the Rangers, and I'm not sure where you want to go, JB, but we've seen teams struggle this season where general managers come to the table. Kevin Cheveldayoff, most recently Tom Fitzgerald. A lot of people calling on Chris Drury, and you know, will we see him step up to a podium? Are they calling for him? Do general managers feel pressure right now more than ever to come to a podium and answer some questions?
I think now is the time, Kyper, for him, because there are just so many questions out there as far as direction, what comes next. So now would be the appropriate time. And I hope he does, because I think the fans need it. There has to be a direction right now, because last night, Kyper, it felt like it ended. Like, it really felt like a death in the family. I remember sitting in my stall during a 5-game losing streak. Henrik and I were talking about this last night in the post game, where Glenn Sather came in the room and he sat between us and he addressed our locker room. And you guys know what it's like to go through a losing streak. It's miserable, right?
Mm.
And Sather said it this way. He said, there's winning and there's misery. And right now you guys are experiencing the misery. And it isn't fun for anybody. It's miserable going to the rink. It's miserable getting on the bus, going to dinner with your teammates. We want to have fun. A big piece of playing well and playing to the top of your capabilities is the happiness that you have around the game. If you don't have that and you don't feel like your teammates have that with you, you can never play at your best. And guys, they couldn't connect a pass last night. Forget about trying to get in on the forecheck. They couldn't get out of their zone.
Yeah.
And it was one puck after another going in. Jonathan Quick's lost 11 games in a row. And here's a guy that was at a .950 save percentage just 4 weeks ago. And now he's a sub 900 because in his last 5 starts, he's had 2 days rest, 2 days rest, 2 days rest, 3 days rest, 5 days rest. He turns 40 next week.
Yeah.
Guys.
He needs more rest.
You know, it's just too much.
So
right?
let me turn the focus to the other end of the rink there, because we had a stat last night. Sam Cosentino did a thing on the Sens that over the past 3 years, when they get a 900 save percentage in a game, were you to just give them a 900, they'd be like 72-30. And, you know, like their record was ridiculously good. Levi Merilainen gets back-to-back starts. And honestly, he was pretty stinky. Like the end of the third period, the team maybe stopped playing a bit and it didn't help him out. But I don't know, like they bring in Reimer. Can Reimer give them a 900 and stabilize thing? Can Merilainen find it? Ullmark, does he exist?
I know. You know what, Bourne? Best team in hockey that might not make the playoffs because of goaltending.
Totally.
That's always a tough one. It's just a tough one. I think it was 273 days since Reimer's last start in the NHL. I read before the game last night, anticipating that maybe he was going to play last night. He didn't, of course. Merilainen coming in after the Vancouver game the night before, which I also watched, and I thought Ottawa completely dominated that game. He just wasn't tested until the third period. And that's what made the worst loss last night for the Rangers, Bourne. It was the fact that it was a back-to-back for Ottawa. They came out and stormed you in the first period with 4 goals, and they played really the 64th best goalie in the league in their net, and you couldn't break through until the third period. So, you know, what do you want to talk? What are we talking about?
Yeah,
right?
You're right.
Valley wrote an article today for the Toronto Star. Even got a quote out of you on Joseph Woll, and it was really around, is he finally ready to take that number one status, and whether or not this is finally his time. What have you seen out of him since he's returned, missing training camp and a good portion to start the season, to where the Leafs goaltending situation is right now?
All right. Well, it's really neat because this came up this morning. I was on the ice with one of the goalies that I coach that is at a university, guys, that's 45 minutes from here. So he's able to come in and get a practice once a week with me. He played a game on the weekend. And when I reviewed his video, I noticed that his posture was down, where when he was making a save, let's just say to the low blocker side, his catching glove would drop over his pad. So that would allow him to sink down and he would lose what we would refer to as posture. And I said to him, you know what? I'm going to go back home this afternoon and I'm going to build you a Joseph Woll tape, because his posture right now is perfect. And, you know, you guys can see my hand on camera. When you see a goalie that when they hit their butterfly, they look like that and they have that chest angle. And if you look at my knuckles, imagine that that's actually his hips. You know, he's got that form, and he has that form when he's standing up in his stance. And when he slams down to his butterfly, he maintains that posture. To me, that's what the epitome, the top, the elite guys look like, play like when they're playing their best. So I went through Joseph Woll's game. It was against Vancouver and Colorado. And you can go save by save and just work through his shot save, his rebound save, his breakaway saves, and his slides, butterfly slides, and you'll see that he maintains that same form. So the highest compliment I can give somebody is that you're doing this the best right now, and I want to share it with the goalies that I work with. That's the way I feel about him. He's only got 2 losses in his last 12 starts. And I went through his overall game, and guys, a lot just jumps off the page here. Just elite everywhere. He's had 189 shots this year, where he's had more than half of a second of clear sight on the puck. Only been beaten twice.
Wow.
Right? Like, that's elite numbers. Broken plays, he's faced 53. He's only allowed 9. Should have given up close to 14. One-timers, he's faced 53 from the same side of the ice or from behind the net to slot, only given up 1 goal. So his east to west numbers, his screens really show again his posture and his battle through screens. 50 screens faced, just 5 goals against. And rebounds, 26 rebounds, just 2 goals against. His positive game percentage, 78% of the time, he gives the Leafs a chance to win. So he's showing up consistently. That's top 5 in the NHL. So, look, I think that when you compare where he is with where you want your number 1 to be, he is in his best place right now. Mm-hmm. Now, what he hasn't proven yet is, can he be a 50, 55 game guy, give you that same consistency every night, as well as maintain the mental battle? And I always have a red flag up if somebody leaves often during their career, and he's missed a lot of games. And I don't know what quote you did use for your article, Kyper, because I think it's behind a paywall. You might have to send me a password. But it's probably, the body will resolve what the mind cannot.
Yeah, I used that
I've
one.
seen it my whole career, guys. It's like, and what that means is that you're going to get injured, or you may want to have a soft injury just to have a break from the mental grind of the everyday. And
that's a subconscious thing, right?
It's a subconscious and sometimes conscious. Like, there are guys, I've played with them, where it's like, my groin, it's been a tough couple weeks. I wouldn't mind a few days here, and
Yikes.
As I've said on your show, boys, you can't fool the boys. The guys know. Mm-hmm. And I just hope, you know what? I want to grab that guy. I want to grab Joseph Wall and say, man, do you know how good you are? Just go for it, man. I believe in you. Just keep going for it, because he is that good of a goalie. And I hope he just gets past that mental hurdle that he needs to get past to be a true number 1.
Yeah. I mean, everyone seems to love this guy. Seems like an awesome person. And hopefully he can find that within him, whatever that may be. Wanted to ask you now about another team in Canada. And so we don't often tell you, I don't tell you what I'm going to ask you about. So I don't know if you've had a chance to look into it, but the Edmonton Oilers have made some goaltending moves this year. Tristan Jarry, Connor Ingram have been playing games for them. Are they any closer to solving what has been a problem for them the past few years?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. And Bourne, this is the challenge. I've got a bunch of goalie injuries here. I've got depth charts. I've been looking at this stuff all day.
You're the Zach Galifianakis gift, just numbers floating around your head at all times.
It's exactly, and here's the thing. There's just not a lot of depth out there, Bourne. Yeah. Like, I'm looking at the top 7 teams in goalie depth. So let's just say Edmonton, they want to go get a guy right now. Okay. They want to go get a guy. Who's giving them up?
Dennis Hildeby?
Well, you know what? Before I even get to the depth charts, Dennis Hildeby, I don't know. We'll talk about that in a moment.
Okay.
Listen to this, guys. Right now in the NHL, nearly 22% of the league has an injured goalie or unavailable. That's like 1 out of every 5 goalies right now is unavailable or injured or long-term IR. Check this out. Mrazek, lower body. Alex Lyon, lower body. Kachekov, hip surgery, out for the season. Mackenzie Blackwood, he just activated the other day. Jari just activated recently. Varlamov out. Allmark, personal leave. Vladar got injured last night. Matt Murray in Seattle injured, even though he's a 3. Stolar's upper body. Demko, IR. Carter Hart, lower body. Aiden Hill might be playing tonight. I don't know if that's out yet.
He
might be in. Yeah. And Igor Shesterkin, lower body. Right? Like, look, what are we talking about? This might be a new segment, the MASH unit. I wrote this down. Brought to you by Workload Management that didn't manage the workload. There you go. We have a new segment. We go through that every week.
So how important is like a third goalie. And like, you mentioned the Rangers with their 40-year-old Quick, but after that, I learned it's Spencer Martin. Like
Spencer Martin, yeah. And he has a career .883 save percentage. I mean, that's not a number 3 for me. You know, your number 3, Dylan Garand might get a start here soon for the Rangers, but every team needs to have 3 to 4, it seems like. And again, back to depth charts, nobody really has anybody, Kyper. Like, I mean, look, Dallas Stars, they have 2 guys that people would want, meaning like Casey DeSmith as the second guy. But why would Dallas give him up? They're going for it. Gustafson and Wallstad in Minnesota, those are 2 guys that are playing at a really high level that teams might, of course, want one, but they're not. They're going for it. And they've got to go up against Colorado or Dallas in the first round. And Colorado, even with injuries this past week with Wedgwood and Blackwood being banged up at certain points, they were going to their third in Trent Miner. So to me, there isn't depth anywhere. And unless you have a guy in the minors that you want to keep as your safety net, and that's your 3, that's your safest bet right now. But there's not a lot out there for trade. So, Bourne, just to answer your question, where's Edmonton going to go? I don't know if they can go anywhere, Bourne.
Okay,
I think they might just have to hold it.
So I've put out a trade board for Sportsnet.ca, and the one team that may have more depth, and I know you were joking around or tongue in cheek, but I mentioned Hildeby, but there's Stolars too. That's going to get set to. He's skating now, and he's a lot closer here. The Leafs aren't in a position to hoard either, with so many lack of prospects and draft picks. Would you consider moving one?
I would stick with Woll and Hildeby and move Stolars. But how injured is Stolars right now? How is he? Who wants
apparently
him?
On his way back on the ice.
I mean, maybe he needs a couple of weeks. I don't know. But if teams are desperate enough, isn't it worth
No, it absolutely is. And I don't know what team wants to go all in on him just because, but you guys know the way I feel about Stolars. I remember coming on here and telling you guys last year this is the best tandem you've had in Toronto in 20 years. And I know how good he is. I think the guy is, again, he's in that top 5, 7, 8 range when he's at his best. But I get nervous if I'm talking about wanting to be a contender with goalies that have a tendency to be hurt. It makes me very nervous. But I can see and understand why somebody would want Stolars, of course. I think that you mentioned maybe New Jersey in one of your previous podcasts, but
Ottawa today. Ottawa's in desperate need.
Yeah, do the Leafs want to help Ottawa?
If they're buried in the basement, maybe.
Yeah, if you don't think they're going to make it.
If Stolars comes out and plays at his level,
they've got.
Yeah, he gives them a 920. They might get red hot.
They do have prospects. They do have prospects and picks that they can give up. I know that.
All right.
Well, more than ever, I've been looking at who's drafting well and who would I trade with as a trade partner that can be a trusted source, because that's the biggest piece here, boys. It's where can you get the best players from the teams that have consistent drafts and develop really well. I mean, I don't want anybody's problems, but yeah, a fascinating time of year right now. And, it's definitely been a sobering day for us here in New York because of what happened last night. And that's kind of where my mood's been all day, looking at the future with not knowing what comes next.
Valley, Sammy tells me that he talked to you about Mitch Marner's first matchup against the Toronto Maple Leafs. In terms of maybe looking into a thought or two. Did he come up with anything on what Mitch Marner is doing this year?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting, Bourne, and it was it's amazing how a playmaker can go from one team to the next and not miss a beat. This year, he has 140 chances where he has set his teammate up for a scoring chance. The next closest player on his team is Eichel with 86.
Oh,
it's a massive divide.
Yeah.
Massive divide. And his primary assist this year is 20. Last season, at this time, he had 145 primary passes to lead his teammates into scoring chances for 22 primary assists. He's doing essentially the same thing he did last year as a playmaker this year. One thing I think is fascinating is seeing when these guys peak, the playmakers peak as goal scorers, because Marner was 24 when he had 35 goals.
Yeah.
and he had 32. He had three empty netters. But I've brought this up in the past. Usually your career years are backed up with some luck, broken play goals. Mm-hmm. He had 8 that year, and he had 8 east to west goals where he's only received 6 east to west passes this year for 2 goals. He's not really getting that cross ice seam pass this year the way he was when he was 24 years old, scoring 35 goals. That's been the big difference. I still think that to be a great goal scorer in this league, you have to receive great passes.
Fair enough.
And, you know, he's just not getting the pass this year. That's the one piece that he hasn't got. That's why he's got the 11 goals. But the John Tortorella stat that we talked about the last time we were on, which is your plus minus for your scoring chances when you're on the ice. Last year when he was with the Leafs, he was a plus 17. So he would have been on the ice for 17 more goals than expected. I looked it up. He was actually a plus 18 on the season in regular stats. Did you know that this year in Toronto, your leading plus minus guy is Easton Cowan, plus 6. Troy Stetcher, you guys talk about him a lot. He's a plus 4. He's second.
Troy's boys.
Wild. Troy's boys. Yeah. So, yeah, some interesting stuff there, but definitely backs up Marner's playmaking ability has gone with him to Vegas for sure.
Listen, Austin Matthews' numbers have been climbing incredibly high since Christmas here. Can I ask you what Austin Matthews doing after Christmas that a guy like Pettersson hasn't been able to do in Vancouver? Because both those superstars have struggled, and now Austin's taken off, and Petey, unfortunately, is kind of spinning his wheels out in Vancouver still.
Yeah, you know what? To me, this is the essence of our company, which is trying to evaluate how important it is to get a scoring chance, how it helps your team win, how it helps a player score goals. The hardest thing to do in our sport. So Austin has had 40 scoring chances since December 27th. I just chose that as a marker because he had 3 points that night versus Ottawa. So from that point forward, he's been playing at a high level. 40 scoring chances since December 27th. His expected goals is 7.86. He's scored 8. So he's right where he should be. He has 22 high danger chances. And that's the difference. If you want to compare him to Pettersson or anybody else in the league, there's Austin, and then there's everybody else. Since that point, he leads the league in high danger scoring chances. You give great players with great finishing ability high danger scoring chances, they come home for you. And Austin's got 22. He's leading the way. The next closest player is actually Tyler Bertuzzi with 18. He's a surprising one because of the way he gets his offense. You know what he's doing, guys, Tyler Bertuzzi? He's getting that positionless offense, which that's what I call it. It's when a player gets behind the goalie and just acts like a backboard.
Yeah.
He's getting a lot of those behind
Zach
the
Hyman
goalie.
does that a bit.
Exactly. And guess who else is on the list? Yeah. Hyman is 4th on this list with 14 high danger. Nathan McKinnon and McDavid round out the top 5. But that's what's been going on. He's got 8 goals, Austin does, in 9 games, but it's because his chances have gone up about 50%. And that's what happens. Give a good player great opportunity, they're going to score.
Good stuff.
Awesome stuff, buddy.
Boys,
are we time for grill marks
for you? I got you guys.
Right.
I got you covered.
It's grill time.
Right. Borny, you're killing it right now. I'm going to look over here. Borny's got 27 points. McKee has 20. Kyper, I don't think, has got a point in 2 months. He's at 18.
All right. Thanks.
We're back.
Thanks a lot.
So this week, we're going to talk. We're going to bring it back to goaltending. All right. And I'm going to talk about front runners, money goalies, and the underdogs. And this is based on save percentage. The first one is based on save percentage when you get ahead by 1 in a game. Who's the best goalie with the best save percentage when his team gets ahead by 1 in a game? And that would be John Gibson, seen how well Detroit's been doing. Scott Wedgwood, been in that position a lot. Or Dustin Wolf, best front runner in the NHL.
You know,
has to be.
What do you like?
Westwood.
I'm gonna go. He said Lee Westwood. I'm gonna go with
Wedgwood.
Give me Dustin Wolf.
I think it's just John. I'll just go John Gibson. I have no idea.
Bourne, you're on fire, man.
Yeah. Here's my logic.
I would have gone with
Give me the
Wolf.
logic.
My logic is that the Avs have been ahead so much that there's too much of a sample size for it to for him to have a weird outlier stat.
Doesn't stick.
Yeah, like Wolf is probably there for 10 minutes all year or something.
Buddy, you're gaming the system with the way you're thinking.
I think you guys cheat.
All right. The money goalie. So this is the goalie that has the best save percentage when the score is tied. And the three options are Jack Greaves, Igor Shesterkin, Spencer Knight.
Spencer Knight for me.
Jet or who?
Or Igor Shesterkin.
I'll take Igor. The Rangers, haven't been awesome, but he's still Igor.
I'm going to take Igor because Justin said Igor.
Spencer Knight.
Hey, McKee.
Hey, and McKee, this one's
Can't
pretty
buy a
wild for me. Usually you don't see the separation here, but he has been a plus 17, which is a really big number when the score is tied. The next closest goalie, Igor, 8.11. Wow. 17
Do I get
to
half
8.
a point?
That's a massive divide.
No, you don't.
And I
The
told Luke
underdog.
Fox to
This
take
is a-
red 4.
This is an
advice.
interesting one. This is an interesting one. The best underdog, because these three underdogs are undersized. It's either UC Saros or not drafted, Logan Thompson or Jack Greaves. So this is the goalie when they get down in a game, down by 1, they have the best save percentage in the league this year. And they're all chip on the shoulder type guys.
Yeah.
Saros
lately.
All right, and I'll do Jet.
UC Saros.
Ah, there you go,
Kippers
boys.
Back in the mix.
Wow,
You got it, Kip.
They've been down the whole year until recently, so I use Bourne's system.
Hey, and that's really the
There you
last
go.
2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they've had a better push.
They sure have.
Boys, tough day.
All right, buddy.
Glad I could stick
Hang in
around.
there.
Yeah. Better days ahead.
Great
You
hat.
can see my Jays hat. I think I need a new Jays hat too. See, I left it outside and there's like a
Yeah,
marking
you're a little
thing.
misshapen
Does it
there.
say-
You can get
Yeah,
Does it
we're
say
gonna get
Tucker on it?
Oh, is that the new guy?
Well,
Yeah,
not
we're
yet.
hoping.
Not yet. Not yet. Everybody's
Okay,
hoping.
all right.
All right.
Valley, thanks
Hey,
so much,
boys.
man. Great stuff as always.
Valley, you're the
Be
best,
good.
buddy.
Take
York
care. Love you
Ranger
guys. Bye-bye.
analyst for MSG and Clear Sight Analytics.
I got to think, and people can tell us this, that's fun at home for them too, getting to play along, guess in their head, right? That's
It
gotta be
just
good.
and
2 for
again,
3
it's the useful or useless part of the analytics, and just to hear the names match up to the numbers, and you're like, yeah, okay,
Checks out.
right?
Spencer Knight's been really good.
Austin Matthews leading the league after Christmas for high danger chances,
That meets the eye test.
right?
That meets the eye test.
But
Got good stuff.
it matches and it makes sense, and to hear Tyler Bertuzzi second
Yeah.
gives you a new appreciation for the guy now.
Yep. No, and that's when it's fun. It's like, oh, you find someone that, okay, that's worth looking into. What's going on with Bertuzzi? And
If I'm not a pro scout by any stretch, but if I was trying to find numbers, if I'm trying to find a goalie, when tied, good save percentage when tied would be the number one.
yeah, like give me the guy who in a tight game is going to give me the stops.
There's nothing that
I
kills
don't need a
team
guy who
worse.
gets good when we're down.
Yeah, he lets in 3 and he turns it.
I'd like to break down like scoring to
Yeah.
Oh, like goals.
game tying goal, go ahead goal,
Yeah.
right? In certain
Yeah.
portions of the game.
There are certain sites where you can get like the same stats within one, like when the score
I
is
don't
within
need.
one.
I don't care about the goal that makes it 7-1.
Nick Robertson's great at
You
that
could
goal.
void a lot of
Right?
Robertson stats. Don't tell people who don't watch the team.
Meaningful goals.
Yes.
It's funny, you mentioned Tucker there, right? And we're just quick baseball.
By the way, yeah, we're talking
Kyle Tucker, not Darcy. Kyle Tucker, this long, drawn out. Hockey guys would hate MLB free agency.
Oh, it's a nightmare.
Oh my God, like every day I'm getting a thing. I think he's going to decide tomorrow. He's going to maybe decide tomorrow. Have to do.
And also
can we
the
get to
Met-
the cottage.
Also, the thing with Tucker, we're not sure how much he loves baseball, how long he's going
Yeah.
to play. The Mets have offered him 4 years times $50 million,
Yeah.
so $200 million.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know.
Like Ken Rosenthal did like one of his little videos I was watching on Twitter today, and he's like, "Well, it's been talked about how long he wants to play and all." I'm like, "How long he wants to play?" The Jays are offering him
the Jays
how
are going to
much?
give him 10 years times 35 mil or something. It's like,
like from the moment you get $50 million a year offered to you, like what are you doing between then and deciding? Are you like you're going for a walk? You're bowling. You're like barbecuing.
Yeah. Like 48 mil, I can't do that on, but 52 I could.
You're snap signing.
Totally. So you obviously don't want to.
Yeah.
You want to live in Toronto. That's what you're saying. Bring
let him come up here and
not today.
And
don't bring him here today.
And get behind a snowplow.
You couldn't give him $200 million for a year.
$100 million. He wouldn't take $100 million a year if he's behind a snowplow today.
It's the Revenant movie outside.
I saw someone tweet. They're like, "Stop tweeting pictures, Kyle."
Don't let Tiger see what's going on. Don't let him see how we live.
Oh my God!
This is the part.
Vladdy's trying to get out of his contract right now.
This is the portion of the show where the people listen. It's like, it snows on this every day in Alberta.
All right.
The birthplace of winter in Winnipeg. It's game time. Presented by Bet365. Visit the app for latest odds and see why it's ever ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. 10 games on tap tonight. Montreal and Buffalo, which, as a Leaf fan, this is 100% going to overtime.
3 points.
That is going to overtime. We all know that. The game I'm focusing on, clearly, the big revenge game. Biggest game of the year. Kyper's favorite game of the year. Leafs in Vegas to take on Mitch Marner and the Golden Knights. Got some fun ones on here. I'm just looking. I pulled up just on Bet365, and they have some pre-made parlays here.
They got good stuff.
They have one here that says Mitch who, and it's Austin Matthews and William Nylander to both score a goal tonight, which pays plus 800, which I think is hilarious. If I just quickly pull up what Mitch Marner is to get points tonight, because that feels like a lock.
Over 2.5.
Let's see player here. Do you want a goal score? I mean, he doesn't score a whole lot. I think he's only got
scored last night, did he? Power play goal?
Plus 275 tonight for a Mitch Marner goal, which really just feels like a lock. Yeah, so just give me him to score a goal. I mean, you could even convince me that he might score the overtime winner tonight when these two teams inevitably go to overtime, which just to twist the knife a little bit. Yeah. So, that's good. That's good. That was game time presented by Bet365.
That'll do it.
Visit the app for latest odds and see why it's ever ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly.
All right, let's take a quick break. 10 games on tap. We'll get into a few of them tonight when we return to Real Kyper and Bourne. As a reminder, this hour of Real Kyper and Bourne brought to you by Bet365, Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, and a finger-pointing Sammy McKee.
I'm glad I remembered this because I wanted to ask you. I was on YouTube yesterday, and it just popped up the 9-minute, or like it was like a 30-minute video, but it was a live of the 2010 overtime, like the Canada versus USA overtime. Like it just, no commentary, just like the broadcast of it. And like the intensity of that game and all this. And it got me thinking, like,
are they allowed to show it?
It was on YouTube. I watched it. It was like an official Olympic upload thing.
Okay.
So I watched it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And, you know, Marleau has this fantastic chance in overtime. And he and Miller makes a good save. Danny Heatley comes down the right wing, rips one shoulder by Miller, knocks it out. Like, how much different would our relationship be with that goal if it wasn't like Sid?
If it was Heatley?
Like if it was like Heatley with the golden goal for like
Sam, that it would have been massive either way.
I know it would have been massive, but like
that was
I'm not sure the point you're trying to make.
No, just like the fact that it was Sid
yeah.
in that moment is like we're all so lucky that happened. To live through that. You were in the building,
crazy
weren't you,
movie
Kyper?
script. It's McDavid
I
that
covered
does it
every
in the Four
game
Nations.
that year for TSN, Sportsnet, and CTV.
There will be, people don't know, there will be I forget what they call it,
consortium.
Whatever it is. Yeah. Again, so it'll be part our people, part their people there covering it. But it is fascinating, you know, like McDavid does it the Four Nations,
I don't think anybody would have cared.
No, they wouldn't care, Kyper. I'm making this point badly, but like, if we all look back on it, and we're like, wow, what an incredible moment. We still beat Canada, but it's Danny Heatley that scores versus Sidney Crosby. It's just a different thing.
Yeah, no, it's great for Sid's legacy for sure.
And our country's legacy. I don't
know.
know.
Paul Henderson in 72, Daryl Sittler in 76.
You're right.
It doesn't really matter.
Winning the event. But I will say, you know, is it a coincidence that it's Sid on a cheeky, sneaky little, not many people might have made that exact play sort of thing? It's not a coincidence, right, that it's him?
Cheeky,
like Heatley didn't hit the corner.
Again, little tap out.
It's not
he totally
all
caught
an accident
Brian
that he happened to luck into the one. And
you've seen the video of him practicing that exact shot?
Yeah.
There's like a long video of him talking about that.
McDavid does it for the Blackhawks in the Stanley Cup final in OT. Patrick Kane does it. You know, of all guys, Patrick Kane.
That nobody knew it was in.
You know, but I'm saying like these coincidences, like sometimes random guys score it. I'm not saying
you're right.
You know, but
pucks to the net.
These guys,
and I'll never forget after that. Ron Wilson was like, "Well, the ref was in the way." He cried about the ref being in the way, and that's the reason that it landed on Iggy's stick. Anyways, just a random thought I had.
Play the ball as it lies, Ron. I had to hit it off Frankenstein's fat foot.
Got to tell you, even watching that, however many years later.
Chills.
Just taking you back, like even not even the goal, just like the intensity of that moment in that building and just all the players in the ice. I'm not ready for that again. God.
Sam Bennett get to put it across the line, or will it be Connor Bedard?
It was the only thing that mattered whether or not this thing was going to be successful or not is if Canada won and they leave it as the final event, right?
The Four Nations, is that?
No,
are you talking about the Olympics?
2010.
Yeah, it was the last.
It was the last event of the Olympics.
Yeah.
So can you imagine if Canada lost that and everybody's like leaving to go home?
It's a bit of a damper on the thing.
It would have ruined it.
But wasn't that to break the all-time gold medal record at the Olympics too? Like I feel like that was
60
part of it
years
too.
or something.
Any other cherries would have been snowman balanced on that cherry on top. There's too many cherries.
There are no words to describe that building.
Oh my God.
Nothing. There's nothing.
I don't even. I'd say the same
it.
about a million bars, or whatever, thousands of bars across Canada.
Did you jump up and down when it happened?
Impartial
we're
observer.
all very happy, but
you know,
I'm a professional broadcaster, Sammy. I had to go literally like moments after that on air and look like a real pro.
It's just crazy to think of like the fact that I'm sitting with you here now versus
I'm
what
evolving.
I was doing during
the
that
mighty
game.
have fallen.
Well, during that game, like I was just like,
what are you doing here? What are you doing here with me?
We had a keg. I was like running through the streets. This guy's on national television, and now he's sitting here with me, sucker.
God almighty, how the fallen.
Yeah.
Mighty.
Sorry, pal.
That's okay. Last night, your Toronto Maple Leafs got bounced out of a playoff spot by the Buffalo Sabres.
Yes.
But Josh Norris did not finish I don't know what they said. Upper body again? Are we?
The team is saying they're
nervous for him?
hoping it's not serious. Yeah, constantly. We don't know anything more, right? What the team?
He got cross-checked in the ribs. Apparently, not necessarily serious. They don't know.
Okay,
but just sucks for this guy.
Yeah.
It's like every time he feels like he's getting some momentum.
And
going.
if you do get a bad break now, and it's just unfortunate, people are just like, paint you with that brush. And whatever.
it has been an incredible turnaround.
Yeah, I mean, he is they would not have done what they've done without him over the past month. He has been an integral piece of their success. So,
And they're shopping too.
they're shopping.
For what?
They shopping Tuck around.
They've got to make decisions on Tuck.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be really hard to move him right now.
Well, yeah. How do you take him out of that room from the fans? I think.
Would you pay him $10 million?
I don't at all want to pay him $10 million, but he's got him over a barrel. This is where you need the guy to not squeeze him for every nickel he can. And
8.5, 9.
Yeah, all right, get a lot of money,
But
get a long
Here's
term.
what he's got going for him.
They need him.
He's it.
He's the only free agent left.
He's the only one that
He's
he'd be
also
the top
Buffalo
of
boy.
the bidding war.
They're in the playoff hunt. Like, he has him over a barrel.
He's having a good year too.
He is.
He's having a good year. He's 38 points in 44 games. The way he plays, I didn't realize he scored 36 goals for the Buffalo Sabres last year.
He shoots it in, man.
He was a plus 16 on the Sabres last year.
He's like, I don't know. He's kind of Chris Kreider to me.
Yeah,
Big
he's got
skates.
that same. Chara.
Hey, Sam, hold on. Did you want to have a talk about heated rivalry and the phenomenon it is in the hockey culture or no?
I mean, no.
No,
But
do you? No, well, I listen. You
Have
can't
you watched
escape
it?
it. Talking to some people, it's bringing people to hockey. The audience is up. It's a massive story.
Very popular with women.
Yeah.
I would.
Have any of us seen one episode?
No, I haven't.
I haven't seen a moment
We're
of one.
fully
But,
unequipped to have this
I feel
conversation
kind of
now.
bad
We should
too.
report back.
I feel kind of bad because I played against Shoresy and I haven't watched Shoresy
At all.
either.
Yeah.
Well, I've watched clips of it.
You know
but
what I watch? Hockey every night because
I
it's
can't.
literally my job.
It's hard. It is hard. Are you watching anything at all on Netflix or Amazon?
I watched the first 5 minutes of the Ottawa game last night, and then my wife's like, "Hey, do you mind if I watch Real Housewives of
Anywhere?
Clip Clop?" And I was like, "Sure, let's watch this."
Thanks,
so
man.
I watched that over your broadcast last night. It was a lot of beeps, but no. To answer your question, I watched a movie the other night, but I watch a lot of sports.
But look,
It's just harder to come into work the next day if you don't.
We
right?
go 4 to 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay. You get home 6:15, 6:20. You're racing for something to eat before there's a puck drop at 7.
Yeah. Not tonight for the Leafs. Although I am on the broadcast after this. And then
Are you doing a game tonight?
just doing the Hockey Central, just the lead in. There's obviously Vegas, Toronto.
But to your point about heated rivalry, mostly women in my life, like all my friends, like I get it a lot.
Yeah.
Where they're like, "You got to watch heated rivalry. You got to watch heated rivalry." I'm like, "All right, I'll give it
Okay.
a go," but I haven't done it yet.
Watch
Right.
it. Watch
Okay,
it.
I'll watch it. I got to watch it.
Chara's retirement, his numbers going to the rafters tonight, bobblehead. Anything to say aside from, he deserves it. He's awesome. Sam was like, "Oh, it's the worst one to ever go to if I had to because I hate the Bruins and he's good."
You just remember him ragdolling McCabe?
No, that's not even close. I mean, whatever. That's fine. It's
Okay.
It's 4-1. It's him shooting it from the point, having every shot go in the net with Reimer doing this, and then having crying into my beer afterwards and having Grapes come on after and be like, "Point! They're shooting from the point!" And I'm like, "God, Grapes, stop!" And it's Chara, and he just owned the Leafs. And if there's one night that I could pick and go that would be like my biggest nightmare, it would be going to TD Garden for Zdeno Chara night.
All I'll say is there is no better ambassador or person for our sport out there than this guy. He is one of the most impressive, just men, end of sentence. The marathon running and the education and just the...
Did he climb Mount Everest?
Yeah, I think maybe literally, at least one of them.
Yeah.
He's a
climbing
physical,
something.
He's a physical phenomenon, and he's just an all-around good dude, and by all accounts. So, way to go to.
I remember when he
Chara.
first came in the league, you're like, there's nobody plays at 6'9".
Well, you look around the league and you go, who's the next one? It's like everyone thinks you can turn into Chara when you start tall.
Don't we have a guy out there at 7'2"?
Yeah, I think he played maybe for North Bay for a game.
Karamanov.
Oh, you got the name?
No,
Wow.
Is it true 7-2?
7-1, I thought. 7-1 North.
What was the
Bay.
Buddy, go to the NBA,
Defense.
man. You're making 60 sheets a year.
Karmanov, Alexander Karmanov.
But
the brothers Karamazov.
who did he get traded for? Was it Luongo on Long Island, or what was the trade that I got?
Yeah. It was. Oh man,
Quickly look it up.
I'm gonna mess it up. So.
No, it wasn't Spezza. No.
Oh no, Yashin,
Yashin.
right?
Yes.
Is that right? He was traded from the New York Islanders with Bill Mucklat and a first-round pick.
He was good.
in the
Bill
2000
McCult?
in the 2001 draft for Jason Spezza and Yashin.
Yeah, I remember my dad got inducted into the Islanders Hall of Fame, and he got to shake the hand of Alexei Yashin. It's like, it doesn't seem quite as meaningful as I kind of hoped.
I hated Yashin, man. Holy turtleneck.
The first.
One of my least favorite players
Connor
ever.
Garland.
What's wrong with the turtleneck? Perhaps he's had a banquet to go to after the game.
I mean, I've moved into
jacket.
the turtleneck part of my life, so I'm not going to make fun of him. But when I was a kid, I hated it.
Nothing worse.
Are you going to sport a turtleneck on our show?
You want me to wear a turtleneck
I do.
tomorrow?
Yeah.
Please don't.
Done
Please
deal.
don't.
Done
Oh
deal.
my
Turtleneck
God.
tomorrow, boys. Done deal.
A lot of neck. Big turtle.
Pencil neck. Wearing a turtleneck.
Turtleneck tomorrow. If the Leafs win, I'll wear a turtleneck. How's that sound?
All right.
Our
done.
thanks in the first hour to Luke Fox from Sportsnet.ca and our very own Steve Alaquette. 10 games on tap. Enjoy yours, and we're back tomorrow on Off the Rails Friday.